Alright, so yesterday I finished up this side of the shower wall and I'm all done with it. Only thing I gotta do now is put the granite around this niche on the inside. So I'm pretty happy with the way it came out real nice. And before I grout the floor, since this is natural stone marble, it's very porous, I'm going to seal it first with 511 impregnator sealer is what it's called, what I'm using. This stuff right here. Okay. So I'm gonna go and apply that right now. Also up there, right here where my finger is, right, you could see the mud. That's the last piece of sheetrock. I don't know why I didn't put it up. I think because I didn't know where the shower was gonna stick out to yet. So I didn't paint that yet. So I just have to do one more coat up there and then paint, prime and paint. All right, so all those little clips are off. It's ready for grout now. The floor and the walls. Now you gotta look into grout. I mean, some grouts, they're harder, some are softer, some are cementitious, some are made of epoxy, some are water-based, some are one component. I mean, to me, they're all the same. A lot of them say no sealant's required, but honestly, when a grout gets wet, usually it darkens and the water starts absorbing in the grout. So I've seen so many grouts that say they don't need sealant, and you put water on them and you'll see it get dark. And that darkness that you see is the color change from the water absorbing into the grout. So it's best just to put the grout on your tiles. And even porcelain, it says you can seal porcelain. Why not? It won't hurt it. So I'm just gonna grout all my lines, and when I'm done, I'm gonna seal it. I'm gonna seal the grout as well. I'm gonna let it dry for a few days and then I'll seal it. Because it's just better to have that extra protection when grout gets wet, especially in a shower. That's when the grout gets weak, when you can really scratch out the grout. And plus, who wants water going into the grout? I don't. So it's better just to seal it off. And that's my 2 cents on that. And you can see over here, my line is not perfect. You know, I totally forgot to line it up on my first one. It is what it is. I'm not a professional, and who's gonna even really notice that? Probably nobody but me. But other than that, it looks pretty good. Check it out outside. It was like -5 this morning at 8 in the morning. So, yeah. Also, this marble is very porous, so you want to get some water, because I've already sealed this a couple days ago. Get some water and just, you know, put a couple drips there. You can see how that's just kind of sitting on top, so that sealant I used worked. But if you put the water on your tile, whatever natural stone it is, and it's sucking up the water, you don't want to grout, because the color of the grout might go into the tile. Alright, about to grout, and this is the grout that I'm using. It's Quick Tile by Dale Tile Grout. It's a single component flexible grout. It's pretty much, it says the same stuff as the Prism, the stuff you buy at Home Depot by Prism. It says the same thing. No sealing required, indoor outdoor stain resistant, constant color, but antimicrobial. But the thing about this one is it's pre-mixed. I just had to mix it up, and I only paid $4 for it because somebody returned it. It was like $45, and they returned it to the store because they decided not to use what they were using. This is the type of grout that it can be used for, that laminated tile stuff that they make, but it can also be used for any other tile as well. And so, and also I was looking on Prism, the reviews for Prism, and they were saying that the Prism grout is very soft. Like after a week, you could put your finger in it and it'll come off. You could take a rag and it'll come off, especially when wet. And so I think this one is a little bit better, but that's what I'm using. And back to work. All right, my review on this Quick Tile by Dale Tile Grout review is terrible, man. This stuff dried instantly. And you can see the haze is just dried up on there. You have to literally scrape it off. You know, a little rag won't take it off unless you like really scrub at it. And even that barely took it off. which is good. It's hard, but I mean, look at that. I gotta clean all this off, and it's just, you can't just wipe it off. Even when it was wet, when it was wet, you could kind of wipe it, but then it would make little droplets of water with the actual grout in it. So when that would dry, that would get hard too. So yeah, I don't really recommend this stuff because it's just a pain in the butt. You have to put it on and wipe it off immediately, and even when you do, it leaves a little residue behind that you have to scrape off later. Yeah, all the other grouts I've used, yeah, they're more porous, but you don't have this issue. You can see there's spots where I got to redo it right there already. A couple low spots here, because when I scrub so hard, it ends up taking the grout out. Not happy with it. Here's a silicone remover, like caulking remover tool. And that's what I have to use to scrape this whole thing. This is not, this should not be needed. I know there's some haze remover, but this is ridiculous. All right, so this grout sucks big time. It gets so hard, it's just, these little green pads work though to get off the haze. I mean, this stuff dries immediately, so I can't see anybody working a big floor with this type of grout. No way. Been working all day trying to get this porcelain tile cleaned up, and it's just taking, and it's two of us, me and my wife. So, yeah, I do not recommend this grout at all, unless you like torture, which means a lot of scrubbing. I don't know, maybe the haze remover would work, but I don't have any to test it. But we're almost done. I don't know, it just doesn't look that good either, the grout. It's very grainy. All right, we just finished. That was the craziest grout job I've ever done in my life. I will never be using this again. Quick Tile by Dale Tile Grout. Single component flexible grout. I do not recommend it. Constant color, I don't give a damn. No sealing required, I don't give a damn. I'll stick to my cement-based poly blend, whatever they sell at Home Depot. It's like $15 a bag any day. This was torture. And in the end, the grout lines are not even that nice. They're okay, but it's not like impressive. And it took us hours to clean off the porcelain tile from all that haze. And the haze was bad. It was thick. It was dry. It was like glue. This stuff is like silicone. So, yeah. And this is water-based. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm definitely not doing the floor with that. No way. I'll get some regular grout, cement grout. Because I am not going through that again. Nope. And you can see it's not even perfect. It's like a lot of imperfections in the grout. It didn't go on that great. It's got a lot of little tiny sand particles in it. And this is supposed to be, you know, you could use this. It says the 1/16 inch of a grout line. So 1/16 of an inch should be fine, and it's having trouble even laying out flat on. And this is more like a 1/8 after, you know, using the 1/16. It actually is 1/8 after you're done. It gets a little bit bigger when you clamp those lash clips tight. Sometimes they separate a little bit, so you end up with a little bit thicker of a grout line than 1/16 of an inch. So, man, never again. But yeah, that's the finished result. Not super duper thrilled about it, but it's gonna have to do. And I'm gonna seal this anyway. It says no sealant needed, required, but I put water on it, and it soaks up the water. You can tell. If I take a little sponge with water on it, okay, and then I put it into where the grout is. It gets a little bit darker, not too bad. It might not need it, but hey, it won't hurt. It won't hurt to put some sealant on this thing, just to be on the safe side. Well, that's it for this video. That's the shower grouted up for you with the most horrible grout imaginable. There's a seal on there that when it hits it, it seals that. And there's a seal on the inside of this plate, so if any water gets in here, you can kind of see the seal there. Alright, that's the shower and the valve installed. There's hot all the way, colder, and off. Now all I have to do is finish up. I just have to finish this niche right here. Just the granite around here. I waited last for this just because I wanted to make sure it was gonna fit right. And not only that, I wanna buy some sanding discs so I can get this edge polished so it looks like dark black like the top, because they don't polish these edges for you. And I'm gonna have mine showing all the way around. So I'm gonna have that all buffed out. But I'm gonna buy the polishing pads. And they sell those on Amazon. Alright, I just sweated in my toilet brass fitting there. And I just don't trust those compressed fitting ones. So, and what I did is I put a wet towel around this plastic piece here because this will melt, and that kept it from melting the little plastic piece. And I soldered it real quick and I dried it off with a wet towel. So that's ready for the toilet to be hooked up. But I gotta get this grout in. I gotta get to the store and get some non-sanded grout for this marble floor. I am definitely not using that grout that I used on the shower. It's just too much of a mess to clean up. Alright, there I have the floor grouted. I gotta wait a couple hours and then I can remove the haze. But this is non-sanded grout, poly blend, and it's non-sanded. See my niche over there, I did that too. It's Arctic white color. This stuff is 100 times better than that stuff I used on the backsplash. And as far as haze goes, hardly any haze, and that haze will just wipe right off. That was a nightmare doing the backsplash on that. But it did dry really hard. I give them that. Alright, just finished. I used a microfiber and got off all the haze. I waited 2 hours, like the direction says. And then you give it one more wipe over, just to dry. dry microfiber towel here. Wiped it all down. Came over here, wiped my niche down, get all the haze off. Look at that, it's beautiful. Tomorrow, I'll just cut my last pieces of granite, black granite, that go around the border. And then I'll glue this in place. That's how that looks. That's the cutout that I did. Slides right in there. Glue that down. I got my angle, so if there's any water that gets on there, it'll find its way out of there. And that's pretty much it. Really happy the way this is all turning out. And this is my first bathroom renovation, so originally I called it a remodel. This is more of a renovation because I gutted the walls, gutted the ceiling, added insulation, did electrical, did plumbing. So at that point, you're no longer remodeling, you're doing a renovation, but it's okay. I already said it was a remodel. Maybe I'll edit it and put renovation, because this is more of a bathroom ren rather than a remodel. Yeah, it's just really nice. That Arctic white looks really good. And I have to wait 3 days to seal this. And you're not supposed to walk on it for 16 hours. So I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, that's where I'm at. All that hard work's paying off. This is a wax-free toilet seal by Corky. And it comes with a couple of these foam seals. And since mine is lowered, it's lowered from the tile, I have to use all the seals. If you're flush, you could take one off. If you're a little high, you have to take some off. But I'm actually within 3/8 of an inch though. So I have to, if your flange is lower than 3/8, lower than 3/8 of an inch, then you have to get 2 of these flanges and stack them on top of each other. But I don't have to do that because I'm within 3/8 of an inch.